Lesson 11 is on multiplying integers. So again, we're in Module 2 where we're working on the different operations with rational numbers. And we're going to focus on multiplying integers right now. The confusion comes, multiplying integers is not hard, but the confusion comes maybe in trying to keep the rules for addition and multiplication separate. So just really try to focus on the understanding of where things are going for. So let's look at this example. Once a parachute is deployed, a skydiver descends at a rate of about 5 meters per second. Where will the skydiver be in relation to where the parachute deployed after 4 seconds? All right, so number 1 says, what integer should you use to represent the position of the skydiver in relation to the parachute's deployment after 1 second? Well, he's descending at 5 meters per second. So what integer, remember that's a positive and negative whole number, I would say 5. Except a positive 5 means he's going up. And I've not seen someone with the parachute deployed going up, unless maybe we can wind guess, but not really. We're not going to go there. So descends, we should think of this as a negative 5. It's telling us that he descends every second 5 meters. Okay, so that's after 1 second. So if we come down here, where is he after 2 seconds? Well, after 1 second, he dropped 5 meters. So after 2 seconds, he's going to drop another 5 meters because it's dropping 5 meters per second. So that would be negative 10. And after 3 seconds, that would be negative 5. And after 4 seconds, he's going to drop another 5, and that would be at negative 20. Don't overthink this, okay? It says write a multiplication sentence to represent the skydiver's position after 5 seconds. Well, where do we think it's going to be? Okay, but notice what, before we get to the answer here, notice what we're doing. I'm taking 1 second here and I'm multiplying it by 5. Taking 2 seconds, not 5, negative 5. 2 seconds times a negative 5, right? 1 times negative 5 is negative 5. 2 times negative 5. 3 times negative 5. 4 times negative 5. Because we know 4 times 5 is 20, 3 times 5 is 15. And then it's that dropping. So if we want 5 seconds, I'm just going to go for, nope, there it is, there's my mistake, got to make one every video, right? I'm going to go 5 seconds times a negative 5, because we're going to drop down another 5. So if I had a 5 seconds right here, that's going to match up with negative 25 meters. Because we're going to drop another 5 seconds. So that's going to equal a negative 25. This, you guys, is what we're working on today. This idea that if we take a positive times a negative, and all different variations of that, in this case, a positive times negative, it's going to be negative. But what I want you to notice is the 5 times a 5. 5 times 5 is 25. That's not changing. It doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. Where our difference is going to become is the solution be positive or negative? So we have a rule for that. If we want to multiply integers with different signs, meaning positive and negative, it says the product, that means multiplying, product of 2 integers with different signs is negative, no matter what. Now this is different than our adding rules, because with our adding rules, sometimes it was positive, sometimes it was negative. Remember, we had to take the absolute value, subtract them, and the one with the bigger number, right? The one with the greater absolute value, it kept that common sign. This is way easier. If they're different signs, it's automatically negative. So let me show you kind of where that comes from. It says, remember that multiplication is the same as repeated addition. So instead of like repeatedly adding something over and over, we can just say multiply. Here's what we mean. If we have 4 times a negative 3, that means I'm going to take negative 3 and I'm going to add it 4 times. Repeated. I'm doing the same thing. So negative 3 plus negative 3 plus negative 3 plus negative 3. Repeated multiplication or repeated addition 4 times. So if you want to think on a number line, if I start at 0 and I do my first negative 3, I go from 0 to negative 3. And now I'm here at negative 3. And if I go to the left, remember absolute value, we're going to go 3 units. The sign tells us what direction. So if I go left 3 more, now I'm at negative 6. And if I go left 3 more, I'm going to go from -6 to -9. And if I go left 3 more, I'm at -9 to -12. So notice that 4 times a -3 is going to equal a -12 because we're moving 4 times that -3 we're moving to the left. And that's kind of the same thing up here. And think of the parachuter. He's going down 5 meters every single second. So if I want to know what he is after 10 seconds, it's going to be lower than when he was with the parachute deployed. And that's kind of a simplified version of why when we multiply with different signs, the solution is always negative. Now, remember, multiplication is commutative. Commutative, remember, means we can change the order. So commutative property of multiplication states that you can multiply in any order, what I just said. So if you have 4 times a -3, that's going to be the same thing as a -3 times 4. If I did, I can't really write 4 and -3 times, but if I wrote 4 -3s on this side and 4 -3s on this side, it's going to be the same thing. Okay, so multiplying integers with different signs. If one's positive, one's negative, doesn't matter which is which, your solution, your answer is always going to be negative.